Show, the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show. They clean up nicely. It's the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show. Yeah, they clean up nicely. Yeah.
Howdy, partner. How you doing?
Yeehaw! I'm sitting on this side of the retractable roll and just eating some tobacco. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you said, but that's okay.
I just got back from some Louisville, and I've just been chewing with some of those over here.
Louisville? Did I get a Louisville in there?
I'm out from the Louisville, and I was determined to hear him in the hair and the hair.
Oh boy. It's Wednesday, my dudes. It's Wednesday, my dudes. Well, today is not Wednesday, but when you listen to this, it'll be Wednesday, my dudes. And
it's hump day every day. It's Wednesday, and we're back from DJC, fully collected, fully corrected, and we're going to talk about that today. But how are you coping? You ready for this Thanksgiving tomorrow?
Whew. Thanksgiving, the thanks that are giving. I am, dude. It's like I blinked and this year is over, and Thanksgiving's here, and then it's gonna be Christmas, and then it really is gonna be over. So,
but then it'll be your birthday. Don't skip that, little buddy.
Oh yeah, forgot. I always forget. It's my birthday's the day after Christmas, and
where are we going? Where are we going? Are we gonna go hit the NYC?
I'm not going. After? I'm not going anywhere on the day after Christmas. I don't think that whole week I'm booked up.
Oh, I was gonna say, where would you go if you could?
I want to go to New York City.
Let's go. Fuck it, man. We'll do it live.
All right, we'll go.
The plans are here. They're set in stone.
Somebody
in New York, throw a party for Fuse, and me and him will be there.
That ice cream social we've been wanting. It'll be the birthday ice cream social.
Someone start planning it.
Yeah, I want somebody else to plan my party for once. It's always me. I'm like tired of doing that.
I'm planning it. I'm planning it because I got a bunch of points and I want to go to New York City. I don't even know I have enough jackets to wear, because it's still sunny out here in California. But if I were to be cold, New York would be the place I want. So we're planning that. Put an asterisk on that. Put an asterisk on that. But back to Thanksgiving.
I will just be at the Red Leprechaun on Thanksgiving Eve. Are you DJing Thanksgiving Eve?
Yeah, Bungalow Thanksgiving Eve, and it's busiest bar night of the year. Super fun. Bunch of rookies out.
Good luck.
Yeah, we didn't need it because it's Rookie Fest 99. It's like baby New Year's Eve. So I'm excited.
I think it's a little overhyped, to be honest, anymore. I think it's like biggest bar night of the year, maybe like for local bars and stuff, but I feel like anymore it's just like a Good Friday, like pretty much just like a Friday night.
Every bar night is an overhyped night. That's what they do. They're like, oh shit, it's 2012. The world's ending. We're throwing a party.
Right.
We might as well just call it overhyped night every night.
Right. One of the things we have to talk about real quick is our DMS sponsorship. If you guys are, if you haven't signed up for DMS, now's the time to do so. I would usually say what our promo code is, but because we got a big Black Friday sale going on, you can go on right now onto DMS. You can hit the Instagram, you can hit the blog. There is a promo code that will get you half off a monthly subscription. It'll get you 20% off a yearly. This is the most we've ever done. Ever done. We only do sales this one time a year, and this is the most we have ever done. So if you've been waiting to check it out, you've been waiting to get an account, now is the time.
Hit it. Go now. This second. Do it. Sign up.
Is there any reasons why you want to tell people it's awesome, Drew?
Well, first off, you could get Fusemania edits. You can
That's
get
true.
my edits. You can get Daft's exclusive bootlegs on there.
That's
Facts.
true. You can. Yeah.
Scooter. I mean, A1 when we have Icon. I mean, the list goes on and on. One of my favorites, Zillionaire. He's just crushing it with every alias known to man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is exclusives for days, and I think if you want to stand out and you want to not just be hit and play on that that streaming service, then you should go on there and get something that's unique. It's called an MP3, kids. They still need to download them. You don't just stream everything, but get on there, download away, and you're not going to regret it. Especially with come on, stop.
Yeah, big discount. So yeah, do that if you haven't and that you've been waiting. Now's the time. Also, we just want to say shout out to our guy Briggs. We were at DJC and he was working super hard there, and we didn't really get to connect with him other than like a hey, how are you a couple times and at the final party. And but if you use promo code DAFS, it'll get you 20% off any order off briggsbeardcompany.com.
And
So shout out to
stay
Briggs.
tuned. We might be getting an exclusive scent, if you know what I'm saying, coming through some Daft's Funk. I think that's what we decided. Exclusive name coming out. And also, hey, I just want to say thank you to everybody that bought some merch, that bought some shirts. That's pretty hip. And we're gonna have some even hipper ones coming out here pretty soon.
We were talking about doing a Daft's Christmas T-shirt. So if it's something you would be interested in, you have to let us know. If we don't get much interest, we're not going to roll it. So if you guys think you'd be interested,
I was going to say, wait, put it in the comments exactly what kind of like Christmas shirt you would want. Do you need me and Fuse spooning? Do you want maybe like cartoons of us spooning? Like I don't know. That could be hip.
Yeah.
But ugly Christmas sweater, naked Christmas sweater, you pick.
Yeah. So that's on the agenda. Maybe we'll see if we can get enough interest.
Get enough
also,
comments.
One of the things we wanted to talk about is at DJC, they unveiled a new Crate Hackers app. Drew, you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Part 4, episode number 4. Kind of in the presentation, they were saying how the first 2 were PDFs and they just were shit. And then third finally started getting better. And now this 4th it's got me hyped. It's fucking really good. Lot of stuff that, we've been talking to them on the sidelines, how to make it better. And that they're doing their own selves. They don't really listen to us, but but we do yip in their ear from time to time. And it has like a bunch of AI stuff, a matcher for stems. It has like a song matcher. There's like a hidden feature that's coming out that's in Serato. I don't want to talk too much about, but it works inside of Serato and you could get some stuff. But it is really dope, and we're most likely going to be having a sponsorship with them moving forward to season 3. So
yeah, so if you've been thinking about maybe jumping on the Crate Hackers bandwagon, just wait till maybe the next episode, and maybe we'll have a little something for you. So we just wanted to briefly mention that, and that we are both excited for the new 4.0 app with some really cool features.
Yeah, definitely. I pulled it up the other day. The charts are sick. So yeah, lots of good stuff on the horizon. But now we want to talk about DJC.
All right. DJC this year was in Atlanta. And for any of you guys that are listening that still might not know what DJC is, DJC started as, basically a small get together. Drew, you want to talk about kind of the original DJC?
Think about the Real World on MTV for all you old cats over there. It was like True Story, where we just got into this little Airbnb and, just tried to boost each other up, talk shop with the pros of who was doing what and why and where and how to make each other better. It's as Brian B puts it, there's a lot of other conferences out there that are like pretty basic 101s, and he wanted to elevate it and make it a little bit more 303, if you will, like more advanced classes. Like if you already know, you don't need to go to the other ones, but this is a lot more like high level advanced stuff, and then it's just grown from there.
Right. So this year's DJC was in Atlanta, and it was at the Starling Hotel in Midtown Atlanta, which was, in my opinion, this is only my second year going, but it was an amazing location, amazing spot, amazing hotel. It was close to all the other bars and clubs in Atlanta.
I think it's what made me love it so much. This is one of my favorite years. And I just loved, I fly into Atlanta almost every weekend and spend way too much time in the airport, but I never get to venture out. I've been elsewhere in Georgia, but not actually in the heart of Atlanta. And I really loved it. It was such a cool city. I mean, granted, we were so busy, we barely touched the surface, but
Right.
there was a lot of cool shit going on from just the little breakouts that we got. And I mean, the food, everything we ate was awesome, right?
Right.
Yeah, so much good food.
They had a little food court in the Starling, like connected to the Starling Hotel, which was nice. That had like a bar, and there was multiple different options like pizza, tacos, barbecue. I know I'm missing other stuff, but it was perfect for that. If you wanted something to eat, you could run and grab something real quick. There was a Chick-fil-A close. There was, it was the perfect location, and they had these crazy elevator buttons. I'm kidding.
Well, it's important because if you were at DJC last year, you would know that the elevators fucking sucked, and I'm using that in a nice tone. These ones, interesting. You don't get in the elevator and hit anything; you just hit it from outside, which was kind of cool. But they were fast, and they always came. So that's what she said.
One of the things that I want to mention is that Drew has been to every DJC. He's the only other person besides Brian, Joe, and Jason that has been to every single one.
I know, and you think I would be farther along at this point if I paid attention more. No, I'm just kidding. They keep coming back because I'll tell you, for me, it's I think I was just chugging along in my DJ career, and even when I was invited to the first one, why I still don't know why they invited me, but even when I went to the first one, I only went because it was in Austin. I didn't go for any other reason, and turned out learning a lot. I just guess you always think you know it all, right? I was already pretty successful. I had a lot going on, but it just opened my eyes to what everyone else across the country was doing, and I've learned it's been a long game for me. I would say I've definitely learned little things here and there to consolidate all into one big thing. Yeah.
And when he says long game, he means, there is an investment to be made. And, you might say, oh, what am I going to get out of it now? And it's like, well, you might not get anything out of it right away, but there might be residual effects down the road that, you might get off of,
I'll say, for instance, yeah, exactly. For what he's saying is, I was 2017, I went for 3 years, and I met a ton of new people, and I changed my whole game on like using DJ furniture. Nobody was doing that before. Or I mean, Jen, I was doing it, but I wasn't doing it. I was setting up on a table, and just the stuff that I thought was cool was not. So definitely elevated my game. And then when 2020 hit and we were all stuck, I had like this wild network of DJs across the country that could help me get through troubled times. So yeah, the long game has definitely, with relationships, paid off.
Yeah. And, people always ask, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? And, we sat, they had a dinner, which we can talk about in a little bit, but we sat discussing with some of the other DJs, is it worth it? And, I think we all collectively decided that we enjoyed being there, and it is worth it because we enjoy the time we get to spend with each other, because there might not be any other situation where we get to do that together, and there's a lot of information being tossed around. There's a lot of parties at night, but the time you spend with each other is really invaluable. And um, to be there with people that care enough about the craft and their profession as much as you do, to be in the same room with like-minded individuals that are not willing to put a price tag, like, essentially on what it
Their
costs to
career.
be in that room and their career.
Your
Yeah.
career, yeah. You're learning your career, just how far you want to take it, you know? I don't think it
Yeah.
comes down to money. We all make fucking money, you know?
Right.
It should never come back. You got to spend money to make money, you know?
Exactly. So, I think it's worth it, and I think that, um, I just think that in coming years, they kind of announced, that they're going to be doing some things different as well. So, um, the large scale group is going to be scaled back, and there's going to be a recharge this next year in 2024, and then the next event will be in Scottsdale in 2025. So,
And that's
um,
a recharge as well. They're scaling back the numbers to kind of how it started. It's like Daft Punk said, you got to go back to go forward. And so they're taking it back to the old school, like you're an old fool who's so cool. Um, and just trying to reinvent it and get the buzz again. Because, you know, as DJs, we're prone to just ripping each other off and, doing the easy route. And all these other conferences popped up and basically kind of taking their idea and, try and get the same speakers and do the same things for cheaper. And, um, it's going to happen. That's the nature of the DJ. I'm calling all you DJs out, you know how you are, but, it's, still think the DJC is the original, and I still think they change the game every single year, and it's still my favorite conference for sure.
right. So to kind of recap the entire week, I got in on Sunday. Everybody just that gets in Sunday kind of just chills. They did have a pop-up party presented by Crate Hackers that night, that had DJ Pinky play, Matt Fly play, Nate Nelson, DJ JD, and DJ Snacks. And that was in the Crate Hackers Lounge, as they called it, which was basically the lobby bar of the Starling Hotel. And I got to hang out with Lorgan, and Lorgan got me too many drinks. If you guys know who Lorgan is, okay? And yeah,
I was not there yet, and so Fuse was letting some steam out and raging out to all the party tunes.
that's right.
Did you cut a rug? Were you out there dancing?
I maybe there was some rugs cut. I remember enjoying very much
All the rugs?
JD's set and Snacks' set, and then I dipped out a little early. I caught about half of Snacks' set and was like, you know what? It's time for me to get on out of here, and that's what I did.
I missed that night. I was supposed to come in, and sounds like I might have dodged a bullet, but I took I had to suffer in first class on a red eye all the way there, and it was got there at 7:30 in the morning. Met up with our buddy DJ Irv, who made the hugest mistake in planet Earth of asking the Uber driver, so tell us your craziest Uber story. I'm like, bro, I've slept like maybe 1 hour, and why are you bringing this up? And the guy just wouldn't shut up, and I almost pushed Irv out of the car. So fuck you, Irv. He's still never gonna live that one down. And we rolled right into, I didn't even get to, I just dropped my bags off and rolled right into registration and right into the day, right?
Right. Right, the registration was right at the hotel, and they provided some breakfast and drinks.
Shaney played, and they had the
Shanny
whole.
played. I was just gonna say they had the DOS
Yeah.
audio sound system set up, which we got to hear some of the DOS speakers, which I think we were both pretty impressed about their that setup that they had. Um,
Yeah.
so that was pretty cool. Then the general session kind of kicked off basically directly after that, which was right across the street. And I think was it an old church? Is that what it was?
It's a current church. It's a chapel. So
Mm.
I don't know if it was an old theater that they converted, but that's kind of
It's amazing it didn't burn down with all of us in there. That's for sure.
It was really nice though. It was dope, and they redid it. They had some crazy lighting dropping from the ceiling for key moments, and
Hmm.
I mean, the
It
production is
was
always just so top notch. And Dazzler was the head, the DJ that was doing all the intros and playing as everybody walked in
for
from
the general
Beat Source.
sessions, yeah, for
Yep.
both days. And it's a hard job because you're kind of just got to be prepared for anything, to do that. And Stylist Chris kicked off the general session speaking, which I loved his talk. I loved the way he incorporated music with his speech and the way he presented. It was just very well thought through and thoughtful.
A lot of Dazzler was doing some cuts inside of the key moments, and it was a good play. It was very personal, and it was really cool to hear at least kick off the whole conference with an actual music talk. Sometimes I've heard in the past, like sometimes it gets a little too businessy, and we forget that we're DJs at a
Right.
DJ conference, which is good. We all, some of us, I know I struggle from business versus the DJ aspect. So, and I know it's vice versa for others.
Right. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed his speech. There was it was just really good, really well put together. There were some other speakers that day. Audio One and Icon played break sets. So all the break sets were sponsored by DMS this year. So Audio One played the first break set, and he played um, a
All
Latin,
Latin. Yep.
yeah, a Latin set, and it was awesome. It was great, super fun, super, just really well done.
Yeah. It's nice to, when you take a break, go in, hear a DJ just crushing it, like a straight club set, just get
Yeah,
you back hyped up and get you re-energized to go back in. Because, listen to the speakers again, you're learning a lot, you're taking a lot of notes. But it's like reading a book. No one reads the books, right? You just go for movies. If there's not a movie involved, you don't. I'm just kidding. You don't do it, but it still starts droning on after a while, and you need a little pick me up in the
right.
middle of it.
The
Um,
the details of the DJC too are one of the things that are really cool. They had wrap snacks for the breaks. They had water and
the
soft
Coca.
drinks, Coca
Did you see the
Colas. Yeah,
Did you see the
yeah,
Coca-Cola bottles
yeah.
had produced by Jason, Joe, and Brian on it? It was just a nice little touch.
Right. So there was more general session speaking, and then Icon played a set, and his theme was basically 2000s. And I remember somebody saying, I don't remember who it was, like, oh, great. Now we get to hear all the music that we all already play. But what I will say is Icon put like a very hip spin on 2000s music, and he just crushed it. It's like super technically skilled up there, just doing all kinds of tricks, and it was awesome.
And that's what I think was the purpose of this is to, and we'll get to Fuse's set here in a little bit, but the purpose that a lot of us DMS guys went into is you don't have to play the same 5 songs. There are a lot of other songs out there that still hit and get people going. So Icon, shout out him. He definitely went in and threw down a set. I did want to mention there was some speakers. Z Zandy, she produces a lot of the big giant shows in Vegas and other stuff. I really liked her talk. Jason Ree, he did a really cool talk. And Kathy Romero that day, she works for like a high-end planner, so just getting the stresses of a real day, or being on that side of it, where it's not just about the DJ, where you're like, oh, my set's is gonna change everyone's life. It's like there's 1,000 other things that go into it, and you just being that key part that if you just execute it, you're
Right.
helping elevate the crowd. So there's so much in those speakers that if you're really listening, when you go to your next show, you could pay attention to that coordinator who just needs you to just slow your roll and just do your part. So
Right. We got to go to dinner that night, kind of on our own, which was nice. We hung out with let's see, you, me, Warren, Scooter, Icon, Audio
Brad,
One,
JD,
Brad, JD. I think that was it.
Chris,
Stylist Chris. That's right.
yeah.
And that was it. And it was nice to kind of all just chat and talk about business and all things DJ. Again, part of the reason I love it is I don't know when all of us could have been at dinner at another time together, So that was great. There was a R&B themed party that night at another little like club bar thing inside the hotel.
Yeah, upstairs above the lounge, which that hotel, I guess it used to be a W, so they just have little pockets everywhere. Just awesome. What a killer hotel.
It was great.
I will say the sound fucking sucked in that room. It just kept it kept hitting a limiter, and the speakers in the bar just kept cutting out. But
it was not by the way, the audio was not like, it wasn't like DOS did the sound or anybody like that. It was just the sound that was already in that room. So they were working with what was already in there. So
and if you're not redlining, you're not headlining, and that's what everyone was doing, is pushing the sound system to just too far, and it was clipping.
But the sets were fun. Digital Dave played first, and I really enjoyed his R&B set. You could tell he put a lot of time into a set, which is always nice to see when a DJ actually puts the work in. So
yeah, shout out to Digital Dave. It was a great set. I like that he did all the R&B and really just kept to the theme, and had some cool little moments. So yeah, his set was great.
Then Chachi played, and then Nopa Slaps played, and by the time Nopa got on, I feel like he was just up there like doing his thing, and the party was just like kind of elevated. You know what I mean? Like it got to the point where it was like, okay, this isn't an R&B party anymore. It's just a anything goes party.
Well, and maybe I haven't been to an R&B party, which was also why I wanted everybody to stick to the theme, so that I could see how you could throw an all-night R&B party. But you get it's like when I get a themed party for a corporate, and they're like, oh, we're gonna do all 90s, and then 30 minutes into the thing, they're like, can you do anything else? Or they start throwing out requests, and you're like, well, that's 2000s. Oh, I didn't realize that. And you're like, well, that's 2010s. And they just want fucking good party music. So it just goes out the window. But I mean, I think everyone like still through the party, like the party was still vibing. They were going off the crowd like normal DJs would, but just that theme is, it's hard to stick to us as DJs without going too far off and keeping everybody interested.
Right.
But especially these guys are from out of town, right? So they also want to showcase, and they don't want to look bad by just like I'm over analyzing, but like if I was brought in and I just like everyone played every popular R&B track before me, and then I'm trying to showcase, that I'm good. Wouldn't you at one point just throw it out the window and be like, fuck it? Like, I'm not going to just, I don't know. I'm asking.
Maybe. Probably not. I'd probably stick to the theme. But I don't mean that as like a diss, but like, it's a DJ party. I feel like if anybody's going to understand like sticking to the theme, it's the DJs. But It is what it is. Scooter and Dave went on to play an after party that night at Wicked Wolf. Is that what it was called?
Something like
Something
that.
Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was just a bar down the street. Drew and I walked down there with a few other people for a little bit and hung out before headed back basically and calling it a night because we had to be back up early. Drew played the next day, which was Tuesday, and
Mind you, I haven't slept by this whole moment. I haven't slept. I flew the red eye, and then I got Irv fucking up my my Uber drive, and then I haven't slept this whole time. We're still out, and I have to be up at 7 a.m., which is 4 a.m. LA time to do the opening party.
right. And the Tuesday party and sessions were at the Illumination in Atlanta, which was about a 20-minute drive from the hotel, and they provided buses for us to get on to go there. Some people elected to sleep in a little more and take an Uber there. Well, but the Illumination was really, really cool. Basically, everything was like projection mapped in there, and
which I will say, some people who had been partying all night before might have felt a little woozy from the moving walls and moving floor as you
right.
walked into the room.
But Drew got to play the opening set as well as when you arrived, Grant was playing all ATL hip hop themed set as you arrived, and they had dancers like break dancers dancing kind of like in the entryway, which was really cool. That's kind of the thing about the DJC is like everything is like themed out, where it's like every moment they kind of have something going on, to kind of keep things interesting, while you're waiting. So it was cool to hear Grant play like while you're walking up and like while there's like break dancers dancing, and then you go into another room and that's where Drew did like his set before basically they opened to the Tuesday general sessions, and Drew did an all video set in that room as well.
Yeah. Did an all video set. So there was the moving walls, but in between they had, and if you go to my Instagram, I'll have posted it by now. Giant video screens that kind of were in between, and I had originally planned on being a little bit more of a morning like vibey wake up set, and Grant was outside just crushing the game, and everybody was hyped, and so I threw everything that I prepped out the window, and we'll do it live, and I just started did a little bit more of a housey bungalow, kind of what I'm doing at bungalow. And I was just throwing video loops, keeping it fun and interesting. So everything was just made up on the fly and kept it interesting. Did a bunch of DAFS exclusives, and it was just meant to be something different. I mean, there's a lot of hip hop played that night. We'll get to what Fuse's set was, but the whole idea for the DMS crew was to really just showcase what the pool can do.
Right.
AK back to that. Little drop for that Black Friday sale, but it's what the pool's available for. We have every genre, we got every style, and all of us use the pool, and we're just showcasing what you can do with just playing outside the box. So that was the idea of that.
I missed the general session speakers up until after my set, only because they couldn't get the audio working in that room that Drew and I played in. So at first they had, for Drew's set, they had an Evolve speaker set up, and which amazingly sounded amazing in that room. Just one speaker. Yeah. And then the people for like the Illumination Center were just dum-dums. The sound guy was a dum-dum.
The video guy, this seems like a fucking idiot, dude. Fucking idiot. How do you run an all video audio room and you don't even know how the fuck to use it?
Right. He was trying to tell me that something was wrong with my computer and my video settings, but every time I plugged in the HDMI, my computer was reading the signal. And we spent like an hour going back and forth on this, and then come to find out that oh no, it was one of their cables was bad, and they replaced the cable, and everything started to work. But in that same time, they finally got the house system to work. And then basically I started my set and was playing on their house system, but it wouldn't get louder than like
Your headphones.
right. So during my set, my first like 3 songs, luckily Brian B and I forget who else it was because I was already DJing, like acted pretty quick and got the Evolve hooked back up, and we started bumping again. But it was really difficult to mix rock music while while people are working around your feet trying to get things set up. So I'm glad it all ended up working out. And so my theme for my set was emo and pop punk, and I tried to with my set, I just tried to play stuff a little outside of the box. Like, I tried to hit a couple familiar ones, but I tried to play stuff different. We all play Mr. Brightside, and everybody is overhearing Mr. Brightside. I know I am. Like, don't get me wrong. I play it all the time. It works. But in a DJ setting, we probably don't need to hear Mr. Brightside.
But you went in and he has edits on this on DMS. So if you're looking to expand that library, and I know for my weddings, like some of the last couple weddings I did, they were 30-40 minute sets of emo. So I know it's huge right now. And Fuse had incorporated a ton of covers, which is like the umbrella cover.
Yeah.
Just so many covers that are all done by big emo pop punk bands that crush. So it's just a way to still stay fresh and keep it unique to the people that might not like that.
Right. If you got a pool guy coming over, you got somebody mowing the lawn over there.
They're supposed to come on Monday. I don't know what they're doing. I'm trying to.
Hey, bud, this is a live show. Come on. No, it's
fuck it. We'll do it live.
Yeah. But
they're having a mute for you talk.
All right. So, basically you can go on DMS and you can search cover, and there's tons and tons of covers. And I think that sometimes people don't take advantage of, there's covers for every genre, you could find it, whatever. And, sometimes still, even if it's not on DMS, our job as DJs is to dig. Our job as DJs is to dig and find that stuff. And DMS is here to make your life easier. But, and I have a bunch of those like emo cover edits up on there. I posted some from this set, but there's also tons already on the site. If you search and if you look for that stuff, you just have to take the time to go through the site and find it. But I did a video set as well in that room, which was fun. And I'm glad I ended up doing the videos because I feel like that nostalgia of some of those videos just really, it really just helps and enhance it. And if you weren't there and you wanted to hear my set, it is posted on Mixcloud now, as well as 10 edits from the set are live on DMS now. So you can go search DJC on DMS and it'll pull up 10 edits. Some of them are just like really super short edits. Some of them are like blends and stuff like that I made specifically for the set. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, they're up, they're live. You can go grab them.
There was some classic Joe Bunn emo videos in there.
Oh yeah. Classic Joe Bunn emo videos. We also had emo Joe Bunn live in the flesh. Emo Joe Bunn seemed like he had a little too much to drink the night before at his emo show. So he might have he was struggling, but he was rocking out still. He was doing his best.
That's what an emo tour guy does. Like you party all day and night. That's what you got to do.
The show must go on when you're emo Joe.
You get the hair in your face and you just keep rocking.
Right.
Keep on rocking in the free world.
But so that was fun to get to do that set, and I enjoy some of that stuff, and I was happy to be a part of the DJC in that way this year. Once that break was over, the general session kind of started back up, and
we're both going to be awful on this general session today on this day. We just with performing and overthinking it and trying to make it great for everybody else. We were just burned out and we took a little break. So we did miss that. We did catch Joe Bunn's talk, which was just
Really
we both
good.
loved. It was so
Yeah,
good,
it was
personal
just
and just real.
right. Really good, really personal, and just um, sometimes you just need to hear certain things, to make you keep on, on your pace in life, or on keep you on track. And I feel like for me, everything he was saying was like, oh, this is great. I is reaffirming, kind of where my life is and what I'm doing, and that, I'm in my life. I'm in the right lane for me as a person and as a DJ, and I'm just doing what I want to do. And it was good to hear him say all that stuff.
And not only that, but life still happens even while you're doing it. Both of us have explained stuff that's going on in our life, so it's cool to hear someone that you think is just we all get over spammed by Joe's. That's a running gag everywhere, as we get over spammed by Joe's advertising. But the truth of the matter is he's going through real life too, man, and it sucks. But you got to just keep on pushing and enjoy the times while they're there.
Yeah, we're all only human, and we all deal with different things at different times, and especially us as DJs. People think of us as like, that nothing bad happens, or we're always happy. And it's sometimes, you got to go do the gig and you have your own personal stuff, or go do the event or whatever. And it's just nice to hear other people's take on life sometimes, just to let you know that you're not alone out there. So that was great. Let's see, Tuesday night they had a sponsored dinner where they took us all to dinner. It was like an Italian place that was attached to the hotel, and let's be honest, that was a fucking disaster. But
not the fault of the DJC, not the fault of anybody, except for the restaurant was just not ready for a room full of DJs to come in. I mean, it was just a disaster. I was ready to Postmate something in. It probably would have been faster. It was fucking stupid, awful.
Right. And
they dropped the ball.
They dropped the ball. And the idea was great, though. I love the idea of being able to sit at a table with people and talk about different things, and be sat with random people. We got to sit with John, who is one of the Throwback Brothers. If you guys are on DMS, you might see his edits, which is great because I really hadn't got to meet him yet. We sat with Dan Quinn, which was great. We got to chat with him a little bit. At the other end of the table, Grant was there, Icon, Digital Dave, Stylist Chris, me and Drew, and Mike Sincere. So we were all just, hanging out, chatting, waited 2 hours for our appetizer.
And our second glass of wine.
yeah. So
which by the way, neither one of us drink wine, but it's like
that's they were like wine or beer, and I was like wine, I guess. So
yeah, hard. I mean, we got to be honest here. Like, they can't all be fucking wins, right?
Right.
Sometimes we're gonna fuck up, and it is what it is.
Yeah. There was a party after that Tuesday night in
the lobby,
in the
Crate
lobby,
Hackers Lounge.
Back in the Crate Hackers Lounge. Let's see who played that one. I'm having a brain fart at the moment.
DJ Ease, Mike D, and Scooter.
That's right. Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
it was Mike D, Scooter, and Ease. And Mike D went first.
And because of the 8-hour wait for our food, we missed his set, unfortunately.
Yeah, missed I think, but maybe the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But what I heard was super fun. We got to hear him later in the night as well. Ease went second, and Ease is just a
beast.
Yeah. And then Scooter played, which we all know Scooter does a great job too. Played a lot of his own edits and a lot of his own stuff. He's been making a lot of country blends lately, which are on the site, which I'll be honest, I'm not a country guy, so I don't feel a lot of that stuff, but a lot of people like it, and it's a necessity for a lot of guys DJing right now. And it's a way to play some country without playing some country. So it was cool.
Yeah, I liked everybody's set. You know,
I
at
will
that point,
say
yeah.
everybody played Ski, which I never need to hear that song ever again in my entire life after that trip in Atlanta.
Most of them spent like 2 days trying to warp it so that it could be on time.
How do you warp you got to warp a song that's offbeat and on beat?
Ski, so bad. Um, no, I mean everyone killed it, but I think I was just talking with everybody at that trip. It was more background, but it was awesome.
Yeah,
I like hearing everyone's take on just something different. It's great having like real headliners all
right,
opening for each other. It's just I don't know where you could stack each one of them. They're all just going in, you know?
right.
And
It's one of those other things where people go, "Is it worth it?" Well, like when you go, "Okay, well, when else am I going to get to see all these different DJs play?" Like, unless you're at a club and you're opening for all these guys, like it's not possible to see this many high level DJs in one place at one time,
um I think it goes back to the details. Is it worth it, right? If you're able to pay attention to or appreciate all of the fine details, like getting off the bus and walking into break dancers, like money, it costs money to do those kind of things,
Right.
um, which again, some of these other conferences that are popping up are taking elements of the DJC, but that's why it's, you know, how they're able to undercut it. They don't have all the touches. And I just think um there is so much going on to it. It's very overwhelming. And a lot of people have asked me after, is it worth it? And I just keep thinking like I'm still trying to process the fucking day. Like I don't the week, I don't know that I have like two nuggets to tell you. Like I know for me it's inspirational, and like I think it's a bigger picture of a reminder, as being uh liked to be challenged from our other people. It's like I know where I'm lacking and I know what I need to do. So having the community around me just like support me is good. So I know where, okay, you can do this. You just gotta fucking focus.
Right. Uh Tuesday night there was an after party. Drew, you want to talk about where that was?
We went to go see some baddies at Cheetahs. I mean, you're an ATL, let's be honest. You got to go see some baddies, right?
So it's like it's like 11 in Miami, if you guys aren't familiar. And Mike D's one of the DJs there, and Pinky played with him, and we got to hear Mike play, and he played like way more open format set there. I distinctly remember him playing like Moby Flower at one point, and I was like all hyped. But JD was sitting there eating French toast at the bar at the same time. All that's going on.
Well, he may or may not have been there. That might have been his hologram. I don't remember.
Right,
But
right, right. Waka Flocka sitting off in the corner. I also forgot to mention that Sunday night we're getting food, and CeeLo Green is just sitting at the food court in the hotel too, with like some random chick. It was just hilarious to me. It's like, oh, there's CeeLo.
So tight. Yeah, the cheetah it was awesome. It was super fun. Just, hanging I felt like we just transported the entire
Right.
party, and every single
Everybody was
person was
there,
there.
and everybody was just hanging out. And again, it was more of just like a networking thing. But it was
Um,
awesome.
but yeah, Mike D and Pinky both play there regularly, and
Yeah.
they were throwing down like just a straight party set. It was not a typical baddies stripper set. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Then I'm
Wednesday.
guessing that did that go till 4? I don't even tell you
Yeah, it
what
was
time
like
that
3 or
ended.
4 AM. And then this kind of brings us to our next point with Wednesday. We missed a lot of the talks on Wednesday, which is a
And by
shame.
a lot, he means all.
Yeah, which is a shame because a lot of that's really the stuff that I wanted to hear. And my suggestion would be that it went from like 9 AM until 1, and then there was free time from 1 until like 6. So I just don't know why it didn't start
So
until
I
like
talked to
noon.
Brian about this, and I don't want to run Brian under the bus. I apologize, Brian, if you hate me for this, but the part of the truth of the matter is, because I voiced this opinion as well, but it comes down to renting the building.
Mhm.
They got to get ready for church, so it's only available when it's available.
Mm.
Which,
Just
it's just what it is. You're renting it out for the week, and this is what goes into the money, into the logistics of it all. You're trying to make everything fresh, and sometimes it might take a turn, but there's just going full force with like where the best venue is and where they have the breakout rooms and what they paid for. So where the money's going, because it's going to save you money from getting a third venue to then rent out and do all these things. So yes, it sucks. It's part of, I think it's part of what it is. So I'm with Fuse. I'm super bummed because that was like the day I liked all my classes, and
right.
you know, just what it
But
was.
it is what it is. It's a give and take. After being there since Sunday, for me, it was like I was just exhausted off of getting only a few hours of sleep every day for multiple nights in a row, and coming off a busy DJ weekend as well. So that's that.
That was probably the first time I slept too. Because I was only getting like 3 hours with the time change. It's like it just it catches up. So
Right.
bummer about
I
that.
the
Uh,
the only thing I kind of wanted to talk about too was like just some of maybe the like misses that I think could be better.
well, before you did that, I wanted to talk about that last end of the closing party.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, closing party. Before we get to the misses, closing party, I would say, what a stacked lineup. I mean, just again, maybe starting a little too early with fashion at 8. You know, we all missed it, unfortunately. Just trying to get dinner and get all the stuff. I really wanted to catch fashion set, but we got there just in time for conflict, and he fucked shit up, dude. It was good.
Yeah. Yeah, he plays in a very DJ AM style open format where like nothing is off limits still. And it's
Yeah.
kind of fun to hear that in a way. And it's fun to hear that in 2023 still, where it's like you're gonna hear Johnny Be Good and you're gonna hear, some 50s and 60s and 70s, but played in a well thought out way as well.
And not the whole song, and it's layered very well with I mean, I don't know if he's using stems or if he's just breaking it out with pre-edits or what he's doing, but um yeah, it just I loved his whole set. It was awesome. There were so many like wow moments. It was really good. That was one of the things for me was I think I played pretty aggressive, but it was like still like, okay, I could still do just a little bit more. I could have a couple more touches in my sets. So
Right. And then Puffy played, which going into this, I'll be honest, I really didn't know much about Puffy. And, I looked him up and I got to chat with him for a few minutes before he even went on. And stylist Chris introduced me to him. And what I will say is a really nice guy. And wow, his set was,
wow.
he, he's just
Wow.
like a level 10 DJ, 10 out of 10. Like his mic work, mic skills, MC, his confidence up there while DJing. And then while DJing, all of that, he was a good DJ. Like it wasn't like he was just slamming tracks all shitty. Like, no, it was
So
just
fast. I couldn't even keep up. It was so fast, and it was so everything blended and everything made sense while he's not hyping everybody up on the mic. And what was the thing you were saying? We've shied away from stems, and in fact, I turned on stems after this week, and I've been
well, he
fucking
was
with it a
using
lot more.
stems, but in like a way to
Get
like
everyone to
hype up a
sing.
track. Yeah, or like
Yeah,
get everybody to sing along. Like he said something like, "All right, now it's karaoke time and we're all going to sing along." And then he turned off the vocal and you just hear everybody singing, and it was tight, and just like it was very like an interactive set. And what I liked too, he was like calling people out in the room, and it I just can't say enough. Like I've heard so many DJs over the years, and it was a 10 out of 10 set. Like
yeah.
you know,
It was the surprise of the night for me too. I wasn't super familiar with them, and it was my favorite set by far. It was so good. And that was a big takeaway for me. I mean, you think about the money, like when am I going to see a guy like Puffy just destroy an hour set? This is where the money comes in. And for me, maybe I didn't take away something from the speeches, but I definitely took a shit ton away from that performance from both of the Conflict and Puffy's performance. It's like definitely, has me thinking about how I could change my stuff.
Right. And then last but not least, Scene played, and Scene always delivers. He's I've opened for him multiple times, and when Scene can throw down, he really throws down as well.
Yeah. All killer night. The venue was epic.
It was
such
the old
epic.
Opera, which is now called Domain in Atlanta. So Opera was a club in Atlanta that ran for a long time, and now they changed name and ownership, and it's called Domain. And so many big DJs through the years have played there. I believe AM played there when it was Opera. So if that tells you guys anything, how long running venue that's been. And again, walking distance from the hotel, which is great.
Well, actually, a little thing I'd say is the LED wall was awesome. I mean, it was like visually awe, but again, it goes down to the little tiny baby touches that they're known for that might go overlooked, but they put a GoPro on what the DJs were doing, so you could just
Right, you can
watch
see their hands
right in front everything they were doing. And as a DJ conference, to be able to learn, that was huge to be able to watch that.
Right.
Again, little baby touch. So I would say first, before we get into the misses, that was I think it's worth the money. I just do. I think you gotta
obviously you've been 8 times, Drew.
But I go to other conferences too, man. I do.
Right.
And I'm not shitting on anybody else that's going to these other conferences. They're all great. I love the other conferences too. I like just networking and being with all the people. I like being with my fellow compadres. And I'm not saying only go to one. That's it. Stop learning. But I just want everyone to be unique. And I think DJC, is unique. And I think we have other people, using that same format.
Right.
So just clarifying a little bit,
Right. I think it's important to say too, it's a little elitist. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Like you want to be around the guys that care enough about the investment to go, and it shows, like
that's why the price tag though, right? So
right.
You don't just have the people that, when someone comes up to me or you, just I'm not saying we're anybody. I'm just saying, like, if someone comes up to you, they're anything they're asking like is relevant and goes to it. It's not just like, hey, I just started yesterday and I got the tractor program. Can you send me all your files? You're
right.
You're actually dealing with somebody that knows what's up,
Right.
or is invested for sure into the culture and the industry. So I just think it's worth it. I just think it's so immersive, and yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Hit us with their misses.
So the misses for me is just like, I wish that what they did in like the day 3 that you and I miss, I wish they did more of that kind of stuff in the
Day
general
2?
sessions, like, and what would be great is like, okay, you're going to kind of introduce what these guys are going to be talking about into their thing. And maybe like, okay, for more, you get to like, they're going to talk more on this, later, or, I get that it's a lot of, wedding people, but there's so many aspects of DJing, and I get that it's more of trying to be 301, but we still need to talk DJ and talk shop and talk and listen to people that are doing the thing that we want to do in that situation. And this isn't like a knock, but for me, like you can only hear so many. For me, I can only hear so many planners or people that are selling products talk about selling a product, because I'm not selling in my opinion, what is a product. I am selling like an experience, or I'm selling something that's just fun. Like that's what I do. And I get that maybe, you need to look at it as a product or whatever, but to me, it's just different. It needs to be relatable to what I'm doing. So I would like to see more talking about DJing from people. And again, I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is,
Well,
but
I want to add to what you're saying is, during our dinner where we were talking, and Digital Dave brought it up. It's like a lot of the stuff that people might want has been sprinkled throughout the years, right? So that's why I'm saying
mhm,
for me, it's been a long game of I heard Digital Dave's speech and it was awesome. It was amazing, right? But do we get somebody else to say that same speech next year? You can't do the same speech every year.
right.
So
But
it's
sometimes,
it's hard. It is hard, but
reiterating,
reiterate,
yeah,
I get it. I just don't know how to do it. So it's constantly changing and evolving, but that's where I come in through with the long game. So like people that go 1 year and they're like, that was fine. It's like, I
right.
mean, I get it, but there was 3 years back when I heard Jesse Itzler and it fucking changed my life, Like I'm doing
Mhm,
shit now because of it. Right.
right.
So I don't know that it's ever been just like a one and done where you're just like, oh, that's all I needed to learn.
Right. I think some topics that could be great in general session is like health, like, and Chris's talk was kind of somewhat about that and mental health, but more health. We're in
And
an
they've done a
industry that
track like that in the past,
right,
right? And
right,
I think they did have a track where the one that we missed. I think they did have a health track.
right. And then like, maybe something to even talk about is like for guys, and I'm sure, it's overthought, but you know, like us as DJs, the importance of, saving money and setting yourself up for later in life, in terms of just like retirement and or insurance, like all these things that, you might think, well, I'm young, I don't need this now, but
See, again, I'll play back on to. I'm just playing devil's advocate because you're making great points. But long game wise, that was brought up at the recharge this
right.
year, and it was it was one of the best things I got. I took so much from that year's recharge.
Mhm.
But you know, again, do they just I got a lot from Joe and Jen I doing that, but do I go again? Do they say it again, because and then do I want to hear it again? Because I've been doing it. I don't know the answer. You bring valid points. I just
No, I
saying like how do you balance it, right?
right. It's a question I don't know either.
Yeah. So um
Anyway, see you. Bye.
no, listen. I'm just playing devil's advocate, right? I'm just
No,
saying
right.
both sides.
No, and
So people ask me like, you've been twice, right? So
right,
here's the back and forth, right? You've been
right.
twice of like it wasn't worth it or it was worth it, and I'm
Mhm.
saying, well, I'm still going because like I did get that one time, but I do still need to hear it, and so to really do it properly, the show's got to grow, but then the money's got to grow. It's like it just becomes this like you do niche it or do you like grow it? I don't have that answer.
Right. But overall, I think it's a very unique event. Obviously, we just spent an hour talking about it here on a solo podcast together. And, you know, again, I just think that as a DJ, sometimes you got to realize that you have to invest in yourself. You have to stop using that 2009 MacBook Pro and buy a new one. You got to
Dude,
invest
how
in your
dare you?
future.
How dare you?
Yeah.
I heard they're better.
Yeah.
Somebody posted that the other day, and I thought, "Oh my god, are we still having this conversation? This is a real life conversation that we're still
Right.
having." Um, you gotta. I will say, I came back rejuvenated. Met so many new friends. Obviously get to connect with the same friends, but I came back with a positive outlook for next year, and that's why I like it's at the end of the year, even though it's moving to July. I came back with a positive attitude of what I need to tackle and really get to pushing for next year. Um,
Right.
so Yeah.
I like the event too. It was fun this year. It's always great again to get to hang with everybody and hear all the different DJs play. So many nights in a row because again, it's really hard to pull something off like that.
I mean, we go to Vegas, right? And you don't even meet
Mhm.
we don't even hang with that, as many people when we're in Vegas,
Right.
you know,
Right. I agree.
and that's a DJ show.
So that's it, guys. That's going to be it for today. So again, there's edits for download on DMS. If you haven't signed up yet, there's the biggest sale we ever had because of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Again, shout out to Briggs. Sorry we missed you at DJC, Briggs.
Well, we're looking for I thought of another name instead of Das Funks. It could have been like the cream of some young guy, right?
Oh my God. It's not going to be, that's not it. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. So thank you guys. We got episode 100 coming soon. We're trying to make it something big for you guys. So if we miss a week in between this and 100, we apologize. But we want to do something big for everybody. And again, we just want to thank everybody that's been listening. And we really enjoy coming on here and talking to each other and talking to guests. And we enjoy all the feedback of people, letting us know that they're listening and all that. It goes a long way for us.
I want to say all the people that came up to us during DJC, like it really meant a lot. It was really cool to hear that you guys are listening. And also I would love if you threw in the comments or you went on the official Facebook group. A lot of people that aren't aware that we got the official Drew and Fuse Show Facebook group. There's a ton of free edits and tons of shit on there. So go on there, sign up, and you
Right.
get free shit. But go on there and post new segments you want to hear. I mean, we're evolving the show, and we'd love to hear what you guys actually want to hear. So go on there, go on the YouTube, wherever you want to leave us a comment. Go on there. We read them all.
Yep. Until next time, we'll see you guys later. Thanks.
Peace.